Hey everybody, what's going on? Mike here. Good to see you guys again. Yes, we're still here. Obviously, we've been taking some time to reformulate the strategy for the upcoming fight to number one, reverse this terrible neurone decision that was made. Among other things, in May, we're going to be bringing you ALS, Truth and Transparency Month. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that book so you guys can decide what you think is, are the best organizations and what are some of the key flaws in ALS. Look, one thing we've learned over the last year with all this activism that we've seen in the country is that activism works, especially lately with Lisa Stockman Muriello's attempt to push forward when they did now the most recent ALS protest, frankly, by going out in front of Biogen's office and making a stand for Lisa and for others with SOD1. Here's where I'm going with this is that the iron is really hot right now. And, guys, we don't ask you to do too many specific things. Just sometimes we do. Like last year, for example, the Act for ALS. What you did was truly amazing, and it's because we all dedicated ourselves to doing it, and it really became a movement. We've got an opportunity now to do the same thing. ALS, like I've mentioned, the iron is red hot right now. This ALS has never been hotter. It's never been a hotter topic in the media. So what I'd like to ask is three specific things. And after I explain these, I think it'll be clear why we have to do these. And so let me just take these one at a time. And this is one of those things, guys, that I really, really want to ask you to do. There are times when things aren't really that critical, and so we don't worry about them as much, but these three are huge. They really are, especially with the fact that the Wall Street Journal, came on so strong. Here they are. These are the three acts. So number one is we're going to retweet and comment on that Wall Street Journal Twitter article. So as you know, the Twitter article or Twitter post that came out was amazing. Tweet, sorry. So it was incredible because first of all, Wall Street Journal OPED page is massive. It's truly huge. So here's the thing. The Wall Street Journal counts those tweets. So the more you retweet it and the more you share it and the more other people do, the more times that hashtag pops up, they might do a follow-up. And if we can get a follow-up piece, it will be huge. Guys, I don't want to understate the importance of a piece in the Wall Street Journal op-ed section. It is huge, absolutely huge. So that is actually act number one. This is the Twitter address, and I'm going to have all this for you so you guys can, on eye gaze, or if you need help typing this in, we're going to do that. But their Twitter handle is WSJ Opinion. That's it. And so you can go right there. It's pretty much the first one now, maybe the second one on their page, but I'll give you this feed, I promise. And so basically what that will do is retweeting that and make a comment on it. So you'll like it, make a comment, and retweet. Okay. And please hashtag your local congressional representative. So that's what you need to do. Okay, that's critical. If they count enough of those retweets, then we will get a follow-up story, and that would be massive. The second thing that we've got to do, got to do. We have been talking with IMALS, and they are very, very, I'm excited to tell you that the petition that they're doing right now to try to get ALS hearings, it is huge. We've got to do it. Actually, we were thinking that was part of our plan. One of the things that we had generated in order to ask the FDA, put a little heat on them to get a reversal on the neurone decision, was to get either an IG investigation or some sort of hearing in Congress. And Brian was thinking the same thing, obviously, and it doesn't make sense to do two efforts. So, because we might get one set of hearings, but not two. And actually, the odds are very high. Now, you know us here at No More Excuses. We do not ask you to support anything that we're not going to have a voice in. That in other words, we're not going to be allowed to participate in, and your voices will not be heard. I've learned over the last couple of years that when you cede control of things to other people, they can maybe forget to add your commentary in there, and that's absolutely not the case. We all know who's fighting for us and fighting for the things that we want, which is drugs in bodies. That's the only thing that matters here, and no more excuses. That's it. We don't raise money unless it's for something very specific. We have no payroll, right? We are as grassroots as it gets. That's amazing. That's why the media really asks us for comment on things a lot, is because we are a patient organization. The third and most probably critical important thing here is that we got to do immediately is email your local HLA. I want you to send them this letter or something similar and enclose the tweet also, okay, so that they can go click on the tweet and look at that. So you can see here it says, "Hi, I'm writing today to send you further evidence of the advocacy in ALS, and now is the time for action. OPED, a slow FDA is dying ALS patients their only hope. Wall Street Journal." And this is a shortened version. I'll touch it up. Trust me. I know it doesn't look right, but the FDA ALS regulatory system is archaic and does not match the urgency of a 100% fatal disease. Please schedule a congressional hearing with the FDA. The time is now. People are dying waiting on the FDA process. There are promising therapies that we should have access to today and would, if not for FDA red tape. And here's the truly sad part about what's going on right now. As I watch all of my friends, all of you guys, we're all struggling. 2 years ago in June, we sat in front of the FDA and told Dr. Janet Woodcock that ALS could be and should be a treatable chronic illness today. If you've watched the PALS documentary, you see me personally tell Janet Woodcock right to her face that we can treat this disease. And it fell on deaf ears. Thousands of wasted lives now, and an incalculable number of tragedies and just agony as a result of the fact that we do not have access to new drugs. And everything we do here going forward and in the past, it's always been about drugs in bodies. We were the group that stood firm on neuro. We're waiting on the phase 3 data. We have got to have this data, guys, to go forward. We simply must have it. And I pray and I hope that it's here by the hearings. If it's not, then then we'll address that issue later. But look, here's the thing: is that's why we've got to have these hearings. Every single one of us, we've got to send this letter. We've got to retweet this tweet, and we've got to raise the temperature. We will absolutely do another protest to coincide, or rally, if you want to call it, to coincide with these hearings. So that's the immediate plan. We're going to continue banging on this media and trying to bring as much attention to we can as the number one problem for the number one problem in ALS right now. There are more people out here, guys. This came up a couple of days ago, and I had no clue who this guy was. I mean, I know who Rob Cervic is, but not Rome Milan. And I verified this story. It is true. 14 months in the neurone trial halted his progression. And then it says, such a shame he couldn't stay on a drug that was clearly working for him. There's no satisfaction in saying, I told you so, because people have died waiting on this drug. It's bullshit beyond belief that the FDA is allowing people to die like this. And so here's the thing. It's got to happen. You guys have to send these emails because we know this drug works. It works. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. It doesn't work in every single person, but it does work. And so this is why we have to do these three things. We've got to retweet and comment on Twitter. That's the number one thing. Get that count up, that retweet count up, and so that the Wall Street Journal will do a follow-up. They will too. But it just goes to show you what we can do as a group, as a unit, when we push hard on a $41 billion company. And yes, from that standpoint, and I know what some people were saying, they were implying, they're absolutely right. It was a big victory because they pushed. Because, they pushed and the company moved, and that's the key thing. Advocacy works. Guys, if we've learned anything from the last 12 months in this country, or should have, it's that activism works right now. The idea that getting angry or being, divisive, all that's all done for ALS. It's over. It does not exist anymore. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with people trying to save their lives. Now, the real question, what are you going to do right now? Our success and failure now depends on us. Just like you guys absolutely killed it last year, getting 290 co-sponsor, well, almost 290, 285, I think is where we got 280, somewhere in that range. It was amazing. You guys did that. Your hard work did that. We got to do it again. Okay. And this is the way we got to do it right here. These 3 items, they'll all be down in the description of the video below. Okay. And guys, we have to do this. I need you all to do this one. This is critical. If we get this into the media and we keep this into the media before our ALS hearings, we could walk into an amazing opportunity once and for all to get these questions asked by Can you imagine by Congress? Can you imagine Dr. Woodcock and some of the other members of the FDA sitting, having to answer these questions? Why, when you have no other option, ALS being 100% fatal, and these drugs could now save lives? It's a fact. And not only that, but why are some of these people, like these bioethicists and all these other irrelevant people in my life, except that they believe that they should have a say in whether or not I get and you get new drugs when we have no other options? Why are they allowed to even have an opinion in this? So that's why we've got to be activists. We have to. And that's why activism has worked so well for ALS over the last couple of years. These 3 things, again, I'm going to sign off and say thank you all so much. This is just the beginning, and please get these 3 things done as soon as you can. All right? And the instructions will be right below in this description box. Thanks, guys.